So this is where we start with our history of architecture. We'll see how we get our own more uniquely American styles later. But we have to start by taking our sense of beauty and our designs from Europe. All right, up here in front of us is the second tallest building in our city, Trump International Hotel and Tower, 1,389 feet all the way up to that spire. And I want you to notice that this giant shiny glass tower has 3 patios, these setbacks going up the side, 1, 2, 3. Those patios on the side of the building are actually matching the heights of buildings that are around it. The first patio is the same height as the Wrigley building. The second is the same height as the Mather Tower, which is that skinny Gothic building over there on the left-hand side, the Gothic Rocket. And the third is the same height as the AMA Plaza, large black box building peeking out on the right-hand side over there. So, it tips the cap to older buildings. It's doing that because it is a style of architecture called contextualism, meaning it wants to fit in to its context. It's a site-specific building. By mimicking its surroundings, matching heights, colors, shapes, anything like that, it adds connection from one thing to the next. So they call it contextualism because it fits into its context. We'll see some more of that later, contextualism. I want to give you a little primer on this style on the right though. This large black box here, AMA Plaza, 1973. This is black box modernism. Welcome to modernism. Big black boxes. So, this was designed by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Mies van der Rohe is actually known as the father of American modernism. He typified this style, made a lot of the black boxes around our city, and primarily he did this with this mantra in mind. He coined the phrase, less is more. So he believed that the simplicity of something is why it was beautiful. We'll talk more about modernism later on, but I would like to bring your attention to these beautiful corncob towers coming up on the right-hand side. These are the Marina City Towers, 1968, designed by Bertrand Goldberg. Now, Goldberg was an architect, but primarily he was a social scientist. So that means that he designed things like these with society in mind, with an experiment primarily. So back in the 60s, I want you to know that not a lot of people lived down here in the city center. Most Chicagoans lived on the outskirts of the city. Goldberg wanted to try and change that. He was on the forefront of changing our perspective of the river. You see, he designed these corn cobs here to give you everything you need in one location, to hopefully revitalize the area in one fell swoop. A city within a city. You live up top, have your car valet parked for you down below, got your laundromat, your daycare, your movie theater, your ice skating rink, your offices, your restaurants. And of course you have your marina as well here. Can't live without your boat in Chicago, gotta have it. So the beauty of the building is that you live, work, and play in one structure. It's a city within a city. And a very popular experiment at that. Everybody loved Marina City, these corn cobs. And part of the reason why we have so many residential buildings around here is because of that tower right there, changing our perspective. All right, let's switch over here to the left-hand side. Let's talk about this shiny glass building with the white granite columns lining the outside. That's 77 West Wacker, a style called neoclassical, which means new classical. So it takes themes from classical architecture, the Greeks, the Romans, and updates it with contemporary materials. I want you to look way up at the top and notice that triangle, that pediment that makes up the top of the tower. If you notice, that kind of looks like something on, say, the Parthenon. But it's here in Chicago, so it's more like a tall, shiny Parthenon. Neoclassical, it's new classical. Over on the right-hand side, we've got this low-lying red brick building here. This is the Reed Murdoch, 1914, the grandfather of this section of the river. It's lived a long time here, had a lot of lives. It's been a makeshift hospital, a warehouse, a traffic court. It even has Encyclopedia Britannica's headquarters in there today. So it's a bit of an encyclopedia building. Been here for a long time, had a lot of stories to tell. Now, I'd like to take a little break from buildings, to talk about bridges. We've got some famous bridges in our city as well. You see these burgundy bridges all around? They are actually unique to our city. We've been going underneath these bridges. They are Chicago-style bridges. A Chicago-style bridge is a double-leaf trunnion bascule bridge, just like this one right here. Double leaf means that it opens up in the middle, like so. Oh yeah. 37 movable bridges in our city. That is the second most in the world, weirdly enough, only by Amsterdam. They have 61. And we do still lift them up, if you're curious. That's how we get our sailboats down the lake in the spring and away from it to their home on the South Branch in the fall. It's this kind of fun little procession because they have to shut off traffic, open the bridges up one by one, and let them on through. All right. Coming up on the right, I want you to notice this gigantic building here with the Indiana limestone on the outside. That's the Merchandise Mart, or the Mart, as we call it. This was built in 1930, but it's a reflection of the Roaring '20s. And it's a good example of this new style, Art Deco. Art Deco is the first distinctly American style. So no longer are we reviving things from Europe, we're looking forward optimistically towards an American future. And I want you to notice how Art Deco is typified by those vertical lines right in the middle there with the deep dark inset windows. Do you notice how they break up the horizontal lines on the building on purpose? They're doing that so your eyes naturally follow the movement of the building up. So Art Deco is easily identifiable by vertical lines right next to deep inset windows, because it's always emphasizing verticality, making you look up towards the sky, optimistic style. I think of those vertical lines like pinstripes because, well, they made it in the Roaring '20s. Roaring '20s and Art Deco are intertwined, and I imagine they were wearing their zoot suits when they made the buildings. Pinstripes on their suits, pinstripes on their buildings. That's what I think. All right, we're out here in Wolf Point, everybody. Welcome to Wolf Point. Wolf Point is the confluence of the three branches of our river. We're on the main branch right now. We're about to head up the north branch to our right, down the south branch after that to our left. There's been a band playing over here in Wolf Point all day. I do not know why yet, but it's lovely. Over here on the right-hand side, just if you ask, I don't know. All right, over here on the right, I want you to notice we have three brand new Wolf Point towers. That light blue one, Wolf Point East, 2019. This one here being constructed will actually be known as, it's Wolf Point South, but it will be known as Salesforce Tower. It's finished in 2023, home to Salesforce, when it will be finished. And on the opposite side, there was a dark blue residential building built in